Threads of Justice takes the works of 12 local Asian American artists, and we have asked everybody to imagine what a future looks like when it is equitable for Asian Americans. And so using denim jackets as canvases, they have customized every jacket, and it talks about their identities, their personal experiences, and the wishes that they have for our communities.
My work is really inspired by plants and nature, and I like to lean into animals that tend to have negative connotations and put them in places of nature that are very tranquil and peaceful, where you'd normally see like tropical birds or animals that are kind of stereotypically beautiful. I did a bunch of sketches and compositions to see like what will fit together. I ended up landing on the Philippine eagle to represent the Philippines, and then the red-tailed hawk to represent Georgia.
I really wanted to create something to dedicate to our heritage, especially our parents' generation. And I started looking into Korean art and all of the symbolism inside of it. I also really wanted to use a technique called 조각보, which is where you take just scraps of fabric and you kind of sew it together to create a wrapping cloth. And I thought that was a great representation of immigrants. Yeah, my mom helped me out with this because I was struggling with the construction of the jacket. I had to alter it to a smaller size. And it made it kind of more meaningful because my image is of a mom and daughter working on the 조각보 together.
And it was a mom and daughter team. Yeah, that's cool. I got 2 girls at home, and so I was trying to depict like other Asian American women that they could look up to. And I also chose like women that worked in spaces where like I had interest in. So like Peg Yoki, badass skateboarder. She was like the first woman in the Z-Boys team. And then this is Chiaki Mukai, first Asian lady and first Japanese person to be in space. And then I also paired it with some boxing gloves. That's Dee Kamaguchi, and she was this Japanese professor. She became like a pioneer for female boxers. Color is really important to me. I like fun, bright colors. I think that just comes from like street art and graffiti, like everything has to pop.
I knew that I wanted to work with traditional wear. I really wanted to highlight our diaspora. I took just found items or found fabric that I had. Some of these are hand dyed by me. And then I took some of the same material of denim and played with the pattern making. We have hanbok here as a border. And then we have sarong. We have some Filipino bamboo fabric.
Awesome.
That I asked my friend to smuggle for me. And then we have a sari for my sister-in-law. And then some of these are hand stitched. And this is a hijab that I binded and mended. My favorite part, which is the label, I wanted to make sure that Made in China was very shown to show labor laws and how it's very obvious that a lot of these jackets were not made in the best labor conditions, but we're taking our spin to it and we're putting a lot of care and effort into the jacket.
In the summer of 1982, garment workers took to the streets of New York's Chinatown to demand fair wages and better working conditions. These 20,000 people were mostly Chinese immigrant women. These women did not speak good English and were disrespected for so long. But they realized that when they came together that people could be swayed and that they could get what they asked for. Just hours into their strike, all of their demands were met. What's so powerful about that is a lot of the times Asian American women have been brushed off as submissive, quiet, and in this particular historical moment, they were loud and they were ambitious.
Being from Bangladesh, labor laws play a really big deal in my work. I've seen the living conditions, I've seen the sewing conditions there. It's not a great feeling. I'm overly conscious of that as I put this fabric into my work.
You have to be vulnerable as an artist, and seeing something in a visual form, it can lead people to understand things that they've never experienced from someone else's perspective. And it's a great way to bring people together for a common cause.
I think art is a powerful tool for advocacy. I know, like, for me, sometimes it's just hard to put things into words, but I can put it on the page. I paint, I draw, do a mural. I love doing murals because it's in the public space. So, like, whether you're looking for it or not, you might stumble upon it, maybe you'll relate to it. That's my way to communicate.
We were able to bring our heritage into it and mix it with our own culture and with what we've experienced as immigrants. And it's a great way of bringing the past into our present and envisioning what our future looks like. It's not yet fully formed, but we're going there.
I grew up down the street off of Buford Highway. I just remember being bullied for not being Asian enough, and then feeling accepted in so many different ways.
Being a part of this group has really kind of led me to accept who I am and know that my story is just as important as everyone else in the community. I am multicultural, and I can accept that, people may have different perceptions of what that is, but for me, being just comfortable in my own skin.
I got 2 little girls. They're still really young, but they're paying attention to the things I'm doing. If I can start a wave of other people representing what's not considered the norm and start painting those on walls, I think that's a good start.
The younger generations, they not only accept their bicultural identity of being American and Asian, but they proudly own it too. It's a really, really beautiful thing to see.
Asian Americans are seeing representation. I believe that our food has become very popular. It's become more acceptable in mainstream culture. But beyond that, I want to see a real change of hearts, that people really care about our communities. This project is a great conversation for us to talk about solidarity, for us to talk about how we can build a stronger and a better world for our future.
We have a lot of similarities in our culture and just even the way we carry ourselves with our grit and our mentality. I hope that with what we're presenting that we can recognize all the similarities that we have with each other instead of the differences, because the differences also make us stronger.
We can reimagine an existence that materializes new ways of living and connecting with one another. We can be remade while honoring who has come before us and who is to follow us. We can evolve from and beyond the past and present to fashion and weave a future that includes every thread, that holds all of our stories while leaving space for the stories that remain to be told, yet that will be all that we hoped and dreamed. Whether you are an artist, activist, ally, community member, or leader, we hope that you find inspiration to create with us. Together, we shape the future.